Good evening, world. This is Yuri, aka Russian Prototype. This is Friday, August 27th. My apologies for not making the live stream yesterday. Had some circumstances, family circumstances that came up. I know a couple of you were here, so my apologies for canceling on such a short notice yesterday. Not something that I prefer to do. In fact, I actually missed my live stream very, very much yesterday, and I wanted to be live with you and talk, but didn't quite happen yesterday. But hopefully, I can make up for it today. Speaking of which, today's topic is lessons from your first love, very first love. And what you're going to get today with this topic is me sharing my own personal story about my first love, um, telling you a few examples that happened with me, then telling you maybe about a lesson or two that I gathered from this particular experience. And then I would like to hear from you. I would like to hear your examples and your perceptions of the experiences that you've had with your first love. So, with that being said, with that being said, how can I go about this? I think I can just start telling you what happened to me and share my story, how it really went down. How it really went down. I have this new special effects, so let's try it. Once upon a time in Russia, a guy by the name Yuri went to his favorite place during summertime to vacation. This was a beautiful place just in outskirts of his hometown Volgograd. That place combined very beautiful views of forest, dirt roads, lake, and river. That place also had a camp, a reserve, and a summer vacation spot for students on the behalf of Polytech Institute or University in my hometown. I would go there with my family during summer times and enjoy fishing, swimming, playing sports, and of course hanging out with students. And it just so happened that I got to know a group of students considerably older than myself. At the time, I was only 15 years old. And I got to know students who were between 18 and 20 years old. And one of those students happened to be an attractive lady. She was from Moscow, from Russia's capital. And there was something very, very attractive about this 19-year-old lady. She had a certain energy about her. She was carrying herself in a certain way. You could feel it. You could feel that positive energy. You could feel um, how nice she was. You could feel her sense of humor and her playful ways. And she became very attractive to me. And we kind of indirectly started spending time together. At first, not just together, but kind of in a group of people. As we continue to start spending time together, I started noticing that I really like her smile. I really liked her ways. I really liked the way she carried herself. And I think even without realizing it, I started being fascinated with her. I'm like, man, in my mind, I was like, this girl is amazing, you know? So we continue to hang out in a group. We continue to see each other. We continue to chat. Um, I think after a while, we started flirting. And then we would just started going to the river together. We would go and spend like half of the day on the beach together by the river. And so the more time went by, the more I started feeling like more and more connection with her. And so one night we would do these bonfires. Actually, every night, just about every night, there would be bonfires. And this actually was a beautiful thing about vacationing, old school vacation in Russia in the summertime at this particular place, because you could hear people play guitar at night. That would be after hours type of deal when, the majority of people would be sleeping. And we would go outside of this um, reserve, to the river, sit by the bonfire. People will bring some food, but there'll be people playing guitars, people singing, and you can feel the smell of a bonfire. You can hear the current of the river nearby. You could see the stars in the skies, and this whole atmosphere. There was something magical about it. There was something magical about it for sure, because you could feel the power of nature, and you could feel the connection of people that would be there at that particular moment. And of course, people would be drinking. People would hang out and drink, and in fact, many times people would come drunk to these bonfires already to begin with, because people would be coming from a from dancing. There would be like a time when they would play music over there, evening time after dinner, and people would just hang out and dance, and then after hours just hang out, just go to this bonfire thing. And so one of those nights, we ended up at this bonfire together. um, and that particular night I think that I might have not been completely sober. And I'm pretty sure she was not completely sober. Now, this is not to say that that's going to take away from attraction that I had for her. No, but I just think that maybe added a little bit of oil to the fire, so to speak. And so that particular night, um, we just ended up close. I think we were dancing a little bit. I remember the song that I was playing, and mind you, it would have been 90. So I was 15, I believe. And so that would be, if I do my math correctly, there would have been either 95 or 96. 1995 or 1996. So that was a long time ago. A long time ago. And not quite 20 years ago, but no, more than 20 years ago. What am I talking about? More than 20 years ago. My math is all over the place. Uh, I guess 10, 15, so 26 years ago, something like that. Whoa, I'm getting old, people. I'm getting really old. 25 years ago, 24 years ago. Anyway, somewhere around that time frame. I think 24 years ago. It doesn't seem real. It seems like it happened just yesterday, you know? But so, long story short, um, we ended up dancing to this song that I still can remember. We got close and then we kissed. And I was wondering to myself, as magical as this moment was, I was wondering to myself, do people always bite lips like that? Because that was like hard, hard way to bite lips. She keep pulling like on my lower lip, and I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, I don't know if it's how it's supposed to be, but that seems a little excessive in terms of biting. I didn't tell her that, of course. I was a gentleman. Oh, and I think that night, now it's just another random fact that came in my mind. She had a zip up jacket, and I think I tried to um, zip her jacket up. I wasn't undressing her or anything. She just had the jacket open, right? And I was trying to zip her jacket up, and the zipper came a little too. It actually like um, got her skin inside the zipper, and that hurt her. So maybe that was her revenge because I hurt her with the zip jacket, with the jacket zipper, whatever. I don't know. I know it's like I'm going from very general things to very minute and detailed things, but you know, this whole experience of getting to know her, of spending time with her, of kissing her, it was somewhat magical, you know, because in that moment, in that moment, it feels you feel something different as a human being. You feel something that you've never ever felt before, you know. um, you feel perhaps, you know, maybe perhaps it was a fascination, maybe it wasn't love, but one thing for sure, that the attraction was strong, the attraction was real, the feeling was real, the the gravity, the pull, it was there, it was there. And so later, after this experience, we part ways. And then I saw her in the city. Once we came back in the city, typically vacation would be sometimes in August, but then, you know, after that, like after 20th of August, we'll be back in the city. And I saw her in the city with the guy she was dating at the time, which I also consider a friend. Um, and at the time, I was like, "Oh, we're in a life triangle. We're in a life triangle." I don't really think I was in a triangle. I think I ended up just jumping in, um, or she just let her guard down. Either way, um, I was not in the picture. Let me put it that way. I was not in the picture for long. So I think for her, it was maybe also a bit of a fascination, maybe curiosity. But I do think that she felt something too. I think she did to an extent. At least I think that. Maybe Obviously, I will not know the answer, but I believe that she did feel something too towards me. She probably just did not want to admit that she liked a 15-year-old guy, because at the time she was 19 and she was hanging out with students, with like freshmen and sophomores, and I was in high school. What kind of freshman or sophomore person will admit that she likes a 15-year-old? You know, probably not many. And so yeah, this adventure or experience, this experience was short-lived, but it was sweet like honey. Not the taste of her lips, but the feeling of love. The feeling of love was mesmerizing. I felt like little, like puppy love flashes of things before, but this one was different. This one felt stronger. That felt more grown even compared to previous ones. That felt like I really liked her. I really wanted to be around her, you know? Um and what is the lesson? My lesson is, first love, it's like magic. It's a pure form of magic. When you really feel it, and when it happens for the first time, and you cannot think of anything else but that person, that's the only thing you think about. That's the only person you want to be around. That's the person you fantasize about. That's the person you want to talk to. You want to spend time with. You want to hug. You want to kiss. It's a magical experience. And I think every human being should experience this. I think every human being deserves to experience true love, because there's nothing like it. There's nothing like true love. That is my takeaway, my friends. I am really, 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 really interested in your opinions. I'm interested to learn, what are your lessons from your first love? What have you learned? What have you experienced? How was it for you? Would you go through it again? I would like to know. I would like to know. Would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. So please comment. Let me acknowledge some people we have in the house tonight. We have Jamie in the house. Hello. Thank you for being here. We have Felicia in the house. Hello. Felicia is in Orlando, and we actually went and had dinner together. Felicia is cool in real life, actually even better in real life as she is in virtual life. So shout out to Felicia. Heather is in the house. Hello, Heather. Thank you for hanging out. Let's see if we have anyone else. Looks like Becky is in the house. Hi, Becky. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. We have Lilium in the house. Nelly. Hi, Nelly. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Fofal or Fofal is in the house. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. Looks like we have Jessica in the house. The screen went black. Am I back? Am I back to normal? Sorry about that. I think the internet still gives some issues. Thank you for hanging out. J.O. in the house. Thank you for being here. No, I'm not married. Not yet. So please, 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 what are your takeaways from your first love? Let me give you a sound. Maybe you can just respond to me and tell me which sound do you resonate with for your first love experience. Is this sound? Or is this sound? Is it sound number one? Or is this sound number two? Which one, which sound corresponds to your first love? Is this the sound of harp, or is this the sound of flushing toilet? Which one is it and why? Please tell me. Please, please, please tell me. Let me look at some of your comments. I love to read your comments. This community is absolutely the best. I absolutely love this interaction. I absolutely love hearing your thoughts. So let's get to it. The first one was canceled, so this is that one, I think. Oh, somebody asked a question. Second life. This was the life that I meant to do yesterday. So in the beginning of it, I mentioned my apologies for not being able to be here yesterday. I just had some things come up with the family that I had to attend to. So I appreciate you coming back. I really wanted to be here last night, but unfortunately, sometimes things just happen not according to the plan. So Heather said, yeah, um, the other one didn't start yet, and then logged out of my phone and clicked the alert and got here. I don't know what happened. Oh, there are two of them. That's what you're saying, right? There are still two of them that were showing. I'm so sorry, guys. That I saw it earlier and I completely forgot to take. I don't even know why the other one's still showing. To be honest with you, it was supposed to be deleted because it is only one that was a schedule as of today. I actually deleted it, the one from last night. So I don't even know why YouTube still show them both. So after this, I'm gonna have to go and actually delete one if it's still gonna end up being there. It's really odd. So sorry about that. Um, let's see. Jamie said, wow, she was looking for a snack. Maybe she was. Maybe she was hungry. Felicia said it's like an out of body experience. The first life, sometimes it really feels that way. It really feels that way. Heather said, I learned I could grow to love someone, no initial attraction whatsoever. So that means like just spending time and feeling different over time, gradually towards the person, right? And so this is more of a, I guess my guess would be it's not based on physical attraction, it's based more on the spiritual or inner connection. Is that it? Let's see more comments. Oh, Yuri, you are just as cool in real life, probably better. Thank you, Felicia. I appreciate you. You're a genuinely sweet guy. Thank you, Kaya. I appreciate that. That's very nice for you to say. I learned to be careful what you wish for. Hmm, interesting. Expand on that, Jamie, if you don't mind. It would be nice to learn more. Gio said, first love sets the patterns for all your future relationships. Oh my goodness. I To what extent? how much do you want to read into that? Because I can tell you that many people don't have the best first love experiences. You know, sometimes this first love experiences is pump the brakes. What are we doing here? I didn't sign up for it. Let me out of here. I was looking for something else. So let's not read too much into that, right? Some people end up in the first relationship that ends up being abusive. That's not something we'll look for. Hopefully, that's not going to set the pattern for all the future relationships. It's like a wrong order on Amazon, you know? I ordered a pair of shoes, but I'm getting a pot instead. I don't want no pot. I want a pair of shoes. I didn't order the pot. Pot, I mean like cooking pot, not pot to smoke. I always have to clarify things so they not be taken out of context. Let's see. More comments. Becky said, my first love was really complicated. It was taboo. They were a few years older than me. He ended up going to jail because I wasn't 18. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that. And that's kind of echoes the point that I was making earlier, that sometimes first love could be a bad experience, but it does not have to set the stage for everything else that will come later. Sometimes it's just the way it is. Thank you for sharing it, Becky. Looks like Tara is in the house. Hi, Tara. Thank you for hanging out. Can you please let me know if my internet working okay? Because I get a feeling that it is not working okay. I'm really gonna have to set up this. I keep saying it, but my Wi-Fi is not being reliable, and I have this hardwire. But I always think that Wi-Fi is going to be okay. Wi-Fi is going to be okay, and then in the last like 3 or 4 streams, I keep seeing. Well, one of them was because of rain, but I keep seeing that the signal gets weaker. So I think I'm really just going to have to set it up beforehand so it can go through hardwire and just get away from Wi-Fi, period, and be done with it. Jamie said, it's actually pretty sad and depressing. I can message it to you, but it's too much to type here. I'm sorry to hear it, Jamie. Only if you want to share. I didn't mean to make you sad about it. Heather said, my first love, if I should call him that, manipulated me from the beginning. I don't want him to count, really. Biggest regret. Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear all these bad experiences. It seems that unfortunately people will take advantage of other people because they feel the innocence, they feel maybe a lack of experience, they feel that they can, sometimes take advantage of another individual. I don't know if it's a power thing. I don't know if it's one of those things to where like, oh, I can do it, I can get away with it, so I will do it. Or I don't know if it's innocence things to where people like to capitalize on other innocent people. But it's unfortunate because I think it's like, when you go through it for the first time, people don't have, I'm talking about people who are inexperienced. They don't have necessarily the tools. They don't have the way to recognize some signs. And so in a way, they ended up being an easy prey. It's like a wounded animal in the safari. When predator sees it, it always goes for weak or wounded animal because it's easy prey, because they can conserve the energy. So it almost seems like similar with people. When they see somebody inexperienced, they know that they can take advantage, and that's sad. That's a sad thing. um, so I'm sorry you had to go through that, Heather. And it sucks that some of these lessons come at the cost that it does, because I think what happens is that people sometimes end up being disappointed in other people. Sometimes people end up with a trauma, and sometimes people shut down from dating other people because they don't want to go through pain again and through same you know traumatic experience. And so that part of it is very unfortunate, of any kind of first experience. So I think, how can we move on from it and even forgive? Because I think sometimes, would you agree with me? Let me know in the comments. Would you agree with me that sometimes the one of the hardest things is to forgive another individual, somebody who did you wrong? They know they did you wrong. You know they did you wrong. And I think the first reaction is anger. First reaction is sadness, feel betrayed. But I think in the end, forgiveness is so appropriate in many cases, because when you forgive, you let go of negative emotions, and you don't do it for them. You do it for yourself, first of all, you know? So they've done so many wrong things to you, and you hate them at the time, and maybe rightfully so. But I think it comes a time when I think all of us kind of gets to decide what's going to happen next. Are we going to keep holding on to these emotions, negative emotions, or are we going to forgive this individual, even though it's not easy? But we're going to do it so we can go on with our own life and protect our own emotional, mental, and spiritual space. If you just join us, smash this like button. Smash this like button. Um, because if you don't smash your like button, this is the sound I have for you. You have got to be kidding. And I have my glasses and my mask still. Or maybe I thought I did. It's okay. I'll manage it without mask. Let me see how many likes we have. We're getting into a very serious conversation here right now. This is not for the faint of heart. We talk about forgiveness. We talk about forgiveness. This is not easy. Yeah, I think there's two of them. I don't know what's going on. This is two of these things over there, two of these videos. We have 14 people watching, but only 10 likes, and I just liked it myself. So what's going on? What's going on with the rest of you? Are you not liking what you're seeing right now? Or you don't like the like button? Smash the like button. Don't be stingy. Or you don't like the like button? Whoa, now 11 likes, but 14 people watching. What about 3 other individuals that are watching? Let me play this sound for you again. You've got to be kidding. 12 likes. I think it's working. Let's continue to play this sound.
You have got to be kidding.
Let's continue coming back. Still 12. Still 14 people watching. Do you know how to smash the like button? 15 people watching.
You have got to be kidding.
You are holding up the entire conversation. You are holding up the entire conversation. 3 of you, you're making it more difficult for everybody else.
You have got to be kidding.
Okay. Well, 3 of you who did not like it, you've been labeled ghost watchers. All right. Maybe 3 of them already left. I don't know because it's 12 people now. Forgiveness, my friends. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Felicia said, my first love was a drug dealer. It was fun at first. But once the bullets started flying, I had to get out of there. I was into bad boys back then. Well, you know what? I'm glad that you were not harmed by those bullets because that is nothing to sneeze at. Jo, tell us about your first love experience, my prototype. My prototype. This was my first love experience. What I was just saying. Um, that was my true first love experience. Innocent, unpretentious, pure, naive, also so real as it seemed at the time. It was magical. It was magical. And I think partially it was magical because that's what I believed, and that's how I felt. I did not know any better. I did not try convince myself that she wasn't a good person for me. I did not try to convince myself that she did not like me. I did not try to convince myself of anything. I just knew that I felt some sort of connection with her and I wanted to pursue that. And that's why it was magical. Heather said, oh, and mine was jailbird too. I was smarter than that, but got desperate to have someone. And thank you for sharing that. I know it's not easy to talk about those things, you know. Um, I know it's not easy to talk about those things. Heather said, long story, but willing to share via token, too much to type. Or maybe you can come on as a live guest and share it, what you're willing to share. Cheyenne said, hey, sorry, can't chat much, but my first love was like Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid. He looked like him too, but he ended up going with Ursula in my story. Is Ursula another woman? Yuri, I like your story, just kind of confused why you guys didn't end up together. We didn't end up together because this was a summer vacation. She was from a different city and she was dating another guy. And to top it all off, I don't think she ever looked at me seriously as a potential dating partner. She was 19, I was 15. I think it was more of a summer vacation fling for her. Um, it was not meant to be. I wasn't going to go to Moscow. She wasn't going to move to Volgograd, my hometown. It was a summer thing. Um, Afrojack has a song, Summer Thing. Um, Calvin Harris has a song, When I Met You in the Summer. These are, you know, these things are real. These things are real. When you have 4 seasons, you know, in Florida, it's like summer all the time. You can't even write a song about it. But when you live in Russia, when you have 4 seasons and you look forward to summer, summer is this magical time when you can go on the river, when you can be, staying late at night and be outside and even stay in a tent, enjoy outdoors, all these things, right? Um, it's like relevant. You look forward to that time. That time itself is magical, let alone falling in love with someone in the summer. It's like icing on the cake. Summer was already magical. Fall in love with someone is just a bonus. Oh my god, my internet. No. No. What part of Russia are you from? Are you currently residing in Russia? My piano teacher is from Voronezh. I love your country. I am from Volgograd, Russia. Um, I am currently in United States of America. Where are you from, J.O.? City in the state or city in the country? Strong Ballerina. Hello, thank you for coming back. Appreciate you. Glad to see you as always. Becky said, it is hard to forgive, but I went to have some beautiful and fulfilling experiences later. I learned to be careful about who I get feelings for. It is hard to forgive. It is indeed very, very hard to forgive. But I think that if we don't forgive, we hold on to something. We hold on to these negative feelings. And I think over time, it still ends up affecting us some way, somehow. And as hard as it is to forgive, when we do forgive, it's like a weight is just falling off our shoulders, you know? Bianca, hello. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Do you have a phone number, Yuri? I do. Bianca, do you have a phone number? That's an interesting question. We all have phone numbers, I believe, at this point of time. Hi, Jamie. Don't write back in Mandarin again. Hi, Jamie. Ni hao. I met my first love, puppy love, when I was an exchange student. Fun summer. Okay, do tell, strong ballerina, do tell. In Russia, it happened. Because I remember you told me that you were exchange student in Russia. That's how you started speaking Russian. So please spare some details, will you? If you don't like kombucha, you should reconsider. You should try. I just got some water. Luckily not on keyboard. This is going to be a live kombucha testing. Testing, not testing. Drinking. It's actually not the most comfortable thing. You see how small this handle is? All right, I gotta make sure I don't spill it. Some of you be like, oh, is he gonna drink vodka? No, it's kombucha. It's kombucha. And I can't even keep it on the table because it's leaking. Not leaking, it's just I need some. All right, let me grab something. I can't be here with the wet table. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Luckily, I had some napkins on a counter so I can just wipe my table off. I was not ready. I was not prepared for that. I was not prepared for that. Where were we? We're talking about first love, and I asked Strong Ballerina about her experience. Because you said exchange student. So where was it? Was it in Mother Russia? I am from New Jersey. What are you in the US? I am in Orlando, Florida, the land of Disneyland. The land of Disneyland. I need a sound effect for that. Wait. I got it on my phone. It's not a separate device, so I'm still learning. I don't even know. There's so many of them. I don't even know all of them. We need a sound for Disneyland. What would it be? What would it be? This is not as easy. Okay, we'll go with this one. This is the sound for Disneyland. When you go there, that's how you feel. That kombucha is amazing. Somebody is Bianca. Are you trying to be on the show? Is that what you're saying? Did I misunderstand you? Do you want to be a live guest? Is that what's happening here? Because I could potentially bring you on if you are not going to be, some sort of strange person. Because if you're a strange person, I might have to kick you out. I've never done that before. My community has been awesome so far, but I will not hesitate. I'll be honest with you. Gotta protect the brand, yo. Gotta protect the brand. Strong Ballerina, no. Exchange student in Sweden. Goodness gracious, how many countries did you travel, Strong Ballerina? I was in Russia to study, but not as an exchange student. So you were just a regular student in Russia, but in Sweden, you were an exchange student. That's getting complicated. There's all these different intricate details, but okay, cool. So he was Swedish? He was Swedish, correct? Summer Dream, hello. So happy to see you here. I thought I've met my first love when I was 14, but it was a childish love. My first actual love made me feel like I was at home, and I never doubted their love for me, but eventually we drifted apart. Yeah, see, I was only about 15. So, yes, it does. Yes, it is childish love, but it still feels so real at the moment. It feels like a real thing, you know? Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for sharing this. Lavender kombucha is freaking disgusting. I don't know about lavender kombucha. I just know that the one I have now, which is BioBerry by Big Easy Kombucha, is pretty darn good. All right. My first actual love made me realize everything before was not love. Okay, Kaya, tell more. What did you realize? What did you realize exactly? What made it so? Do tell. Do tell. I feel like being here and interacting with you, it's my relief and relaxation. I literally cried in my car for lunch today. Nursing school is no joke. Hang in there, Cheyenne. I think like all of us going through something. I was just actually talking about it with Felicia today. Felicia's in town. We ended up having dinner together. And one of the things we talked about is like when you go through something, at the time, it seems like it's the end of the world. But then when you move on from it, when you fast forward, few years, your life changes, and like you forget it, it's becoming a distant memory. It's no longer your reality. Your reality right now is not going to be your reality later. I think in a way you're paying a price for a better future with sacrifices right now. You know? You know what my mom always used to tell me? The first 4 years you work for your degree, and then your degree works for you for the rest of your life. So right now you're paying the price, you're paying the sacrifice, you're working for your degree. It's very hard, it's very difficult, but this time will pass. This time will not last forever. And when the time does pass, and when you do end up with this degree and start your first job, for one thing, this degree will work for you. And secondly, the struggles will become a memory. It will no longer be your reality. There is time for everything. There is time to learn. There is time to love. There is time to cry. There is time to be joyful. There are different seasons of life. I feel like I'm sounding like a preacher, but it does make sense. Bianca trying to get on, not get on the show. I think she's no longer here. Bianca, you still here? Can you clarify your intentions? Because people now starting to guess. Actually, I want to try that. I love all things purple and lavender. Oh my God, I so need a hug right now. I'll give you a virtual hug. It's kind of accurate, but my computer is too far reaching. Boom. Here we go. This was your hug. Let me see if I can find the sound for it. I need something nice. I guess I need to just stop announcing the sounds and just do it, right? I need a device for sounds. It would be so cool. Yeah, I have to scroll to find the right one. So yeah, I don't think I can find one. No, not for hug. Sorry. I don't want to just play random sounds. That's weird. But anyway, the virtual hug is there. The virtual hug has been delivered. Signed, sealed, delivered. Summer Dream said, there is nothing like falling in love with someone for the first time. Then, if they are the one, you gotta remind each other how that felt. Yeah, that's beautifully said. You gotta remind each other. See, I think that's part of it. I think people don't remind each other how they felt when they fell in love. I think then we end up being concerned about bills, taking care of kids, not having enough time, and health problems, and then we just perish. Some would be like, dang, Yuri, that's a little dark. No, the point I'm trying to make is like, we got to take advantage of present. You got to take advantage of what's going on today. If you're dating someone, make a best out of it experience. You know, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Why not make a best out of it today? Why not enjoy your time together today? Summer dream, I agree. Why not remind them what it felt like? Why not do something that you did back then? Back then, when you started dating, when you were worry free, why people act like they can't do it anymore? Just because you have responsibilities, it means that you cannot live an adventurous life? If responsibilities is the very thing that's going to, man, how can I put it? If responsibility is going to make you experience life differently, make you feel stressful, make you feel anxious, don't we own it to ourselves to figure out how to deal with those circumstances, how to still feel joyful? I do believe it. I do believe that we need to. If you just join us, give me a thumbs up. We're talking about lessons from your first love. I shared my first love story in the beginning of the stream. So if you did not get to hear it, make sure to watch it over again, because I did spill some beans of my personal life. And now I'm connecting with my beloved community, the prototypes, about their experiences. Kaya said, it was no longer about myself. It was magical and was someone I trusted completely. I wanted to be a better person because he inspired me to be all that I can be. That's another beautiful thing. If you in love with someone who can inspire you, it's beyond simply attraction. It is also about someone who can elevate you as a person that deserves a sound. It's a touchdown. If you can find somebody like that who can elevate you, who can make you better, you scored. You scored in life, because it's not only a romantic partner, it is potentially a teacher, a mentor, and a few lucky ones have a friend as their significant other. Lilium said, this year I met someone who had never made me feel so good in my life. I fell in love without giving me time for anything. We clicked. He told me that he loved me in everything for IG, but ours is not possible. He is married and cannot and should not be with him. He's married and I cannot and should not be with him. I feel that my heart is breaking to pieces because his wife does not love him. And he is for his children, and I do not want to interfere. It is not correct. And adding that he lives in Europe. Ah, goodness gracious. Did you know that he was married when you first met him? Summer Dream said, yes, Cheyenne, you could always go into social work with the path that you are on now. Bianca, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. Where are you watching from, Bianca? City and state, please, if you're in US, or city and country if you're watching outside of US. I'm not sure what this is in regards to. Is that in regards to Heather's question? But is that what he told you about his wife? And then Lilium said, yes. I was wondering, when did you know When did you find out that he was married? Kai, I've learned to not hold myself back in love. Hopefully, my next love will grow with me. I'm human and make mistakes, but I will never walk away from someone unless they make me. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Lilium said, I must get away from him because it breaks my heart and he insists. Summer Dream. I think one of my biggest lessons from my first love was that I shouldn't take care of myself to know who I was before I jumped into a relationship. It sounds cliche, but it's true. Appreciate you sharing. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we don't know. I mean, we only have so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so much experience when we go through these things. So, you know, I'm trying to be less judgmental towards people. I think there are some situations that I my default reaction is to be more judgmental, but in a lot of cases, people say that you better off to make to learn on other people's mistakes, which I agree to an extent. But I think in relationships, in love affairs, it's very hard because feelings involved. And when you deal with feelings, you don't listen to nobody. You get stubborn. If you like somebody, you like them, no matter what your mama tell you, right? Sometimes you're stubborn. And so sometimes you end up learning yourself the hard way. It happens to the best of us because we need, if we like somebody, we want to be with the person we're trying to find out for ourselves, right? Even at our own detriment. And sometimes we pay the price. We pay the price. But hopefully, along with the price, we learn the lesson. Because lesson is priceless. Summer Dream, I loved him, but but I wasn't fair to him because in the end, we didn't want the same thing in life. See, sometimes when it happens and you realize that you don't have the same type of goals, aspirations, it is difficult, especially when one of the people gets serious about their future. Bianca, I'm 32 and single. Would you like a number, Yuri? Well, thank you for that advertisement, Bianca. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you. Feel free to reach out if you want to connect on Instagram at Russian Prototype. I appreciate the nice words. Naz, я тебя люблю. Wow, I love you. Hi, Naz. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. I love you back. Goldie Gal, thanks. Hi, nice to see you. By the way, new people. Naz, nice to see you live. I appreciate you being here. Goldie Gal, thank you for being live and commenting. I appreciate you. We have awesome community here. We talk about lessons from first love. Please share some of your lessons, takeaways. You don't have to go in depth. Maybe you can just share a couple of things about what you learn, what is like to be in love for the first time. Maybe we can answer a question. Was it real or was it not real? How did you know either way? How did you know? Was it real? Was it not real? Would love to hear from you. Becky said, I think the positive I learned was how to be strong, and I have helped others over the years. I think there's awesome opportunity from nearly, well, not every experience, but from many experiences in life. I think we can learn from a lot of experiences. And I'm a believer that we make these choices ourselves. We make choices to be positive or choices to be negative. Um, Sometimes we choose to fight, sometimes we choose to give up, and sometimes we choose to learn. And I think this is the power of being a human being. Ching ching. It's money.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
It's absolutely excellent to learn to be strong, to make positive choices and make positive decisions, even when your circumstances were less than ideal. That is the power of choice, of being a human being. I know some of these things are philosophical, but I truly believe it. I think there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of philosophy that we can draw from even some ancient people like Aristotle. Um, One good example, right? Many quotes, many wisdom. So a lot of these things already been said. The question becomes, can we apply it? Knowledge is abundant in the world today. Can we combine or can we apply knowledge and maybe try to be balanced? Not just feelings, not just emotions, but a fair amount of knowledge and wisdom along with those wonderful things as well. Gody Gale, every love is a first love in a way, or it feels like that. That's that's interesting point. That's interesting. Thank you for that. Bianca said St. Charles, Illinois. I have family in Illinois still. I don't know where St. Charles is, but I'm gonna have to check it out on the map because I'm curious where St. Charles is. Lilium said he was talking to me about how bad the relationship was, and he told me that he was depressed because he was about to leave his house. Sincerely, I have never been through this. Let's see what else you said. I saw a lot of sadness in him, but the right thing is for me to walk away forever. Only you can decide that. Only you can make the decision. I told him to fix things with his wife and not to look for me. Nas said Russian guys are hot always in demand. You know what's interesting? I haven't really heard that. I realized that some members of my community they tend to think highly of Russian men, and I think I truly believe there are a lot of good Russian men out there, educated, kind, considerate, handsome, sarcastic, and the list goes on. Caring, right? So there are a lot of those men out there, I feel. But I also think there are a lot of bad Russian men out there too. That's why I continue to preach this to my community, and I'm going to continue to do that. Don't focus on nationality as much. Yeah, of course, it's nice to hear the accent, to have this cultural, things. It's nice to have point of connection um, to a country. All of those things are nice, but I don't think that should be determining factor. Determining factor still should be Who is this person? How he behaves? What he represents? Summer Dream, I learned from my relationship as a teenager that it's important to be honest with your partners if they disappointed you. It's not healthy to bottle that inside, and they can read your mind. This is a big one. This is a really big one because people don't share a lot of times. People just keep their emotions inside, and they rather, go for a walk, or they rather break a couple of dishes, or they rather bring up the past or get pissed about something that's not really relevant at the time because they remember something else that they're mad about, but they don't really want to talk about what they're mad about because they assume that that's going to make their partner mad, and then they just end up not talking about it at all. And that makes the entire situation even worse. So, you know, if you can have open communication, you're ahead of the game. You are ahead of the game. Lilium, I hope I recover. I need to heal this. Burns me. Lilium, I hope that you recover too. I hope and wish you the best, and I hope that you make the right decision for yourself. J.O., one thing I know is one can never lose that way again. First love is when you have no fear. After the first love leaves, you will always have that survival mindset, especially the older you get. Hmm. I think you're onto something. I think there is no fear with first love. I think that you are out there in the world sort of fearless. You are so captivated by the feelings, by the emotions, by the excitement that you're probably not thinking too straight, or maybe not at all. And maybe it's part of our biology. Maybe it's part of our biology as human beings. You know, maybe we structured like this. Maybe we just fall hard the first time just so we can get up, become bitter, some of us afterwards, and never experience the same thing again. And if that's the case, we fall by default. If we become bitter, and if we become closed off to future possibilities, we lose by default. The question becomes, how can we be cautious, but how can we still allow ourselves the chance to experience true love? If you just join us, be sure to smash the like button. We're talking about lessons from your first love. Please comment below. What did you learn from your first love? How did it feel? Was it good? Was it not good? What was the main takeaway? Please, 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 please do that. Please, please, please do that. Let's continue on. Lanishka is in the house. Hello, Lanishka. Thanks for being here. It's been a while. Happy to see you here. I want to remind everyone that you can support the channel either through super chats or super stickers, the $ underneath, or you can donate directly through the paypal.me/Russian prototype. Every single dollar and cent that I receive will be utilized for this channel, for improving content, for improving equipment, for creating something meaningful for every single one of you. Let's continue on. Lilium said, I'm hopeful that this will pass. Just a life experience. I must be strong. I think it will pass. Only if you let it, though. Only if you let it pass. Lilium, you made the right choice. If he is cheating on his wife, he would never be faithful of you. Being in first love was as you said, magical, and like eating Skittles, so sweet. I wanted to marry him. Now I see he was not a good match. Also, I had and still have a lot of growing to do. And, I think that self-awareness piece is super important. It is super, super important, because if you realize that there's growth that still need to be done, then you're ahead of the game, I think, Cheyenne, because some people don't even think in terms of growth. Kai, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. You've been doing this in the last 3 streams. So from bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Your support means the world. Summer Dream. Also, I've learned that if you know your love language, you should communicate those needs with your partner. Be specific about what you want from them in that moment. That's a very good point, because a lot of times I don't think really people think about it deeply, like what is the love language, how the other person prefers to receive love. Do they like affection? Do they like to be acknowledged? Do they like receive gifts? What is it that they enjoy? How do they like to be, receiving that love? And I think if people really stopped and think about it and talk about it, it would help. But also just observing another person. What is this other person doing? How, you can literally just take these 5 languages and try each and every one of them, and see the reaction. You can do little experiments, right? I'm kind of giving myself ideas. When I date next time, maybe it's a good exercise. Just write down 5 of these not body languages, love languages, and then just try all of them and see which reaction it creates for a person. I think that's part of like getting to know another individual. This kombucha is so good, so good. Gaudy Gal, I'm not perfect, but I'm 45 and I have loved. Nobody perfect, by the way, Gaudy Gal. But thank you for this. Sometimes people have to crash into each other so that we transform. Growth hurts, but every painful love has told you something about yourself and others. I do believe that. And even, I must say more, even if it didn't teach you right away, it probably told you later. You know, when I have a video when I talked about the one that's got away, the girl that I dated back in 2015. It even a few years after this relationship, I didn't realize what I've had, you know. But then later, when I had bad experience, my mind came back to that particular relationship, and I thought to myself, "Oh wow, I really didn't even realize what I had with her at the time," you know. So sometimes it doesn't happen right away. Sometimes it takes time to evolve for us to even put 2 and 2 together. So be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself. Understand that sometimes maybe you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Allow yourself to live, allow yourself to experience. Yes, true bad Russian guys exist. They do. I blame that show Sex in the City for making me like Russian men. He was very romantic, and I think a lot of American guys have lost that touch. Was it Boris? That was Boris, right? Boris was the man, Sex in the City. I think it was the name. I think I actually have seen a couple episodes. Um, Is it disclaimer? No, it's not disclaimer. It's another word. What people say in USA? There's expression that people say when they confess. Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. As you can imagine, wasn't kind of was forced into it by now a woman, but I'm not, you know, I'm not complaining. It was worth it. Goaty Gale. Yeah, but he hit her, but she got her Mr. Big. Yeah, I'm not sure what this in regards to. There's some internal chats going on. I'm glad that we are interacting here. It would be nice if more Russian guys were open to dating outside their race. I think immigrants are. I think immigrants who've been in other countries um, for a specific time and immigrants who came in not too old. I mean, they're also, you got to realize you're going to be dealing with different people. There's going to be some 20 years old Russians that are going to be super old school and who might not be open to it. But you're going to have sometimes 30 years old Russians or more who will come and who will want to experience the world and who will be open to these different experiences. So I really think it's all depends on the guy itself. Vet him out. You got to ask these questions. You know, and you can feel the energy when you go to these dates too. A Russian guy who is not interested in you, not going to give you any signs. It's just going to be like kind of a stale date. We talk about staleness. We talk about stale sex a couple of days ago. This is going to be stale date. When you in a situation with a stale date, it's probably not going to go much. I mean, far, very far. I forgot about that part. Becky said, "Love is always a risk. It's worth it whether it turns out or not. Everything happens for a reason." It wasn't love, but I was badly burned by one. I think many of us have. I think a lot of Russian men do like to date outside of their race and will date women from other cultures. I agree. Sometimes people aren't ready for love or to be loved, including ourselves. That is true. Sometimes people not ready for love. I think most prefer white, but there's still some like outside their race too. You'll be surprised. You will be surprised. Many Russian men will date outside of their race. Yes, true, but some. Uh, yes, true, some, but the other, but the ones who grew up there and older ones, not really. You just gotta find one that will. ESP, ladies, we are givers and we need to also accept love. What is ESP? My community knows I'm not great with abbreviations. I've been getting worked up about some abbreviations that apparently I'm supposed to know, and I don't know them. Because I treasure your insight, Yuri. I appreciate you, Kaya. You're a very kind person. Lesson: some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. Our souls cross paths. We learn a lot from each other and had a very sensual summer. Sweden, too. Nice. What's everyone's first love song or soundtrack? Oh, mine was a Russian soundtrack. I could play it, but the issue is that I don't want to get a copyright strike. So the band is called Masha and Medvedi. It's like, how do you translate it? It's like Masha and Bears. It's like a Russian band, and they have this song. Um, I think it's called My Soul. It's really cool. Maybe one day I will find a way to play it for you. Why are Russian guys so difficult and picky? I don't think that at all, Naz. I think you might be dealing with difficult and picky Russian guys. Russia is a very diverse, right? I imagine that there are a lot of interracial relationships slash marriages. Summer Dream Russia is not as diverse, not even as close diverse as America. It's also very regional. So if you're going to go to regions of Russia that, let's say, closer to other countries, they're going to be more diverse because there's going to be tourists from other countries. There's going to be some crossover of people from these other countries. But in the middle of Russia, there is not typically a whole lot of diversity. So it's mostly Russian. Now, if you go to Moscow, there's actually a lot of people complaining in Moscow that they have people from like Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, former Soviet Union republics, that there's so many of them in Moscow now that's just like they taking over the city. So I don't know if you want to call it diverse. I guess there's just a couple other ethnic groups in Moscow in particular that make it seem like there are other people, but they're still from other regions of the former Soviet Union. But the country itself is not like you're going to have, a legitimate community of Indians or Asians, legitimate community of, although I take it back, there's probably going to be a community of Asians, but again, the Asian people are not going to be your, like Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, Malaysians. It's going to be mostly, individuals from former Soviet unions. At least I feel that way, based on what I know. But you're not going to have like a community, let's say, of African Americans. You're not going to have community of Indians. You're not going to have community of Chinese unless it's super close to China, because Russia does have not boundary, whatever it's called, the state lines with share the state lines with China. Like Brazilians, you don't have the communities that you have in United States. So that's why I say I don't think it's diverse in the same way. Summer Dream, not that diverse, especially not in the capital cities. I think Russia guys are picky because of the guy to girl Russia in Russia. Now, Russian guys are spoiled because remember, Russian women are some of the most beautiful women in the world. If I start talking about Russian women, I think my channel probably would be more popular, because Russian women are very well sought after. Like people look for them. They know for their beauty. They know that they take care of their husbands. They have this very warm personality. So there's a lot of positives about Russian women. I think me just saying Russian women, YouTube algorithm will probably pick up some more people and send it to this video. So it's a real deal. I can tell you that my hometown, Volgograd, Russia, I've been spoiled. I've seen some incredibly attractive women there just in my hometown. And one thing that also really makes a difference is that they take time to really showcase themselves. Showcase isn't the right word, like take care of themselves. And when they go out in the public, they really do an amazing job to look the part. So yes, to an extent, I think Russian men are spoiled. Yeah, I feel you. Some call me monkey and are racist, but the accepting ones are truly amazing and so romantic. You will find him. Yeah, if you have somebody who disrespectful to you, I mean, you have to get away. Especially someone who's being racist to you. Don't do it to yourself. I mean, people have real problems, you know. And so just because he's Russian, if he's an asshole, I don't care where he's from. Get away from him. Um, because of World War II, right? A lot of Russian men lost their lives, and it's impacted their population even to this day. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, like the Genophond, there's like more than 20 millions of men were just wiped out. Um, so imagine, like, that's not something that I don't think people understand the hardships that Russia went through in the 20th century. I don't know the exact numbers from World War One. It's been in millions, I believe, as well. World War One, they lost millions of people. World War Two, over 20 million. Some people say 25 millions or even more. Um, there were many people just destroyed by the regime, you know, um, sent to prison camps, executed. Many people, like, died of hunger. It was very, very terrible time for the country. Yet, country produced some of the most amazing people in the history. You know, very, very talented people. First love, thought it was love, but it was only 13. I was only 13, so it was just butterflies. Butterflies. I guess it was polite, but please, guys, don't ask the girl's mother if you can kiss her. I am still embarrassed that my mom knew before I did. Oh, yeah. And she was peeking at us. Oh, goodness gracious. That is different. Yeah, I don't think that I could do it. I don't think that I could. That's too much to handle almost. I can see how it could be super stressful, Lanchka. If you're just joining, make sure to smash the like button. We are talking about lessons that you learn from your first love. I actually think Russian men are more open to dating outside of their race than a lot of American men. Some might just have a fetish, though, but Russia doesn't have the same racist part as America. Oh, goodness gracious. Why are Russian guys so romantic, though? Who raised them this way? I'm interested to know, and what makes them different from others. Um, I mean, some of it is cultural. I think you you see examples growing up, and the example is that you bring flowers to women, you open doors for women. You know, there was back in the day there was a real sense of courtship to where you had to spend time with the woman, get to know a woman, impress a woman. So in order to impress a woman, you have to do a few things, right? You have to put your best foot forward, best effort forward, to showcase that you're worthy of her time, of her attention, and of to be potentially worthy partner in the future. All of those things. And so when you see those type of examples growing up as a young man, not all men, but a lot of men, you end up adapting the examples, adapting these behaviors. And so they end up doing similar things. And there's also, like, when you grow up in a good household, your parents also, I think, sometimes teach you those type of things. You see it in movies, especially older movies. like you see those type of behaviors as well. So you kind of learn that the culture, at least back in the day, was built that way, where man was supposed to do this courtship and send those signals. I don't think that that's true. I think other races will do nice things too. I mean, people here in America, if they like, some men in America will send you flowers to work with candy sometimes or whatever, with champagne, right? Um, some men will go an extra mile to surprise you. So I really think it depends on the man. But I will say this though, I think that we are approaching a critical time. We talked about online dating, um, few live shows back. You can check it out. It's on the channel. We've been doing so many of them. I can't even tell you exactly the date. But we talked about online dating, and I think that what we see, the shift that we're seeing, is that men don't have to work as hard anymore. You know, and it's kind of like it's a little bit disheartening to see in a way, because women have tons of options, men have tons of options, and so these things, I think, they kind of being devalued. Things like such as flowers, such as candy, really real courtship, right? Tell me what you think about this. Do you think real courtship has been devalued, and whose fault is that? If you really want to get controversial here, we got to blame somebody, right? Whose fault is that? Is it somebody's fault, or is it just cultural fault? Did we just kind of like transition into this void, into this space to where both genders have tons of options? Men are not settling down anymore. Women became these power women focused on careers. They no longer, a lot of women act like they don't even need a man, you know? I mean, like, it feels different. It feels different than 10 years ago, let alone 20, 25 years ago, you know? And I talked about it. I talked about it consistently because I think this is the landscape of dating scene right now. And not all of it is good. Not all of it is good, unfortunately. Summer Dream. Isn't it normalized for Russian men to date women much younger than them? Why? I don't think that's Russian man, Summer Dream. I think it's men in general. And why? It's quite simple, because men are like, and I keep telling you about it. Men are attracted to younger women, plain and simple. The first sign for a man is physical appearance. And some of you will not agree with me, and that's fine. You can argue with me. You can tell me how you feel about it. But um, the first the first step that I'm going to take towards a woman, I have to look at her, and I have to have internal desire to approach her. And that largely, a lot of it is based on pure physical appearance. And of course, you know, as you age, your physical appearance worsens. Now, I'm not going to say here that it's 100% the case all the time, younger, younger, younger. No, sometimes women in their 30s look amazing. Sometimes women in their 40s look amazing. It's the matter of taking care of yourself, right? But it's not just that. Sometimes you approach a woman and she has a rest bitch face. You approach her and you say, "Hey, how are you?" And she just, and then what? So no, it's not just appearance. Is I have to find a sound for this now. I have to find a sound. You approach her, right? Imagine situation. You approach her. Hey, hey, I'm Yuri. How are you? When it comes to younger women, it's a physical attraction thing, and you can't get away from it. Why do you think 18 to 24 years olds are making a ridiculous amount of money on different websites, Instagrams? Now it's epidemic of OnlyFans, people showcasing their body, explicit content. These things happen with young, like, and I'm not, look, there's a lot of damn men who will pay money for it. It's a two-way street that is just ridiculousness. But point remains that men are attracted to these young women, just physically speaking. So Summer Dream, I don't think that they are, looking for these women because they want to read literature with them, or because they want to have debate about, the point of life. No, it's a physical attraction, largely. Largely, it's a physical attraction. And there's a lot of dumb bimbos, sorry to say that, but who's going to just not going to be, not really going to think too much, and who can be swayed into a relationship suitable for man. That's another thing too. I never mean to offend anybody. It's never the point, but I have to speak the truth. I have to tell the truth to my community. I'm sorry. Sometimes truth is uncomfortable. But I'm after truth. I'm not about comfort. I'm after truth. If you don't believe that, if you disagree with me, tell me why. I'm older than my Russian boyfriend. My children matter a lot to Russian men, I think. Yes. I do believe that they do. Claudia, hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm dating with a Russian guy and he called me Medvezhonak. Is it good? Let me find a response for you. Medvezhonak means like a little bear. Like it's a term of endearment. It's like, oh, come my Medvezhonak, It's like little bear. Oh, let me like, what is the word? Let me pinch you, my little Medvezhonak. Not my little Medvezhonak. My Medvezhonak is the little bear. So yes, it's a good thing. He must like you. Yes, Russian women are beautiful, but so are many others in the world. Oh, for sure. I did not say, notice, Naz, I did not say Russian women are the only women beautiful. No, no, no. Don't let me get started on women. There are beautiful women of every race in every country. How about that? I'm not just saying it to be a nice guy because it's truth. It's truth. I've seen him. I've seen him in the United States. I've seen him in Europe. I sure damn have seen the videos of them in South America. You better believe it. I've seen him in Asia. All you have to do is just turn on TV, YouTube, and that's it. And open your eyes. Yeah, I think Yuri just proved the point of there being white beauty standards. I think some of that it's I don't even know if there is a white beauty standards. I think it's just how culturally they were raised, how they were navigating through the world, and that's how they continue to live. They want to present themselves in the best possible light. Russian women, what people say about Russian women is what has been said about Swedish women, most beautiful in the world. I think they definitely in the conversation. They definitely in the conversation. What made you decide to make a YouTube? Oh goodness. You have another hour, Joe? I actually have another video. The very first video that I posted. How many likes do we have? 15 likes and 18 people watching. Oh, somebody gave me thumbs down. Nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The name of the video that I wanted to tell you about, Joe, if you go back and find, let me see, because this is going to be a very thorough explanation. Live stream number 1, becoming a content creator. That was the video. It was posted 4 months ago. So if you just click on videos and scroll down until you see title live stream number 1, becoming a content creator, you're going to have over 1 hour and 30 minutes worth of this, answering this question, and then Q&A. What really makes me happy, community, at this time, I'm already have a library of videos built. I feel like we've been such an amazing pace, with these live streams, and we covered so much ground, and it just gets better and better and better with every live stream. People coming through, people sharing, people asking. It's really an amazing feeling. I'm so thankful for every single one of you for being part of this journey with me, because quite frankly, it would not be possible without you. Quite frankly, I never thought that people would be watching these live streams, live shows. And quite frankly, I think that it feels natural. It feels like I'm meant to do this. It's a weird thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I am really enjoying every single moment of interaction with you, every single moment of making videos, every single moment of sharing my thoughts. I'm thankful. I'm grateful for it. What people say about Russian women is what has. Oh, sorry, I already read this one. Sorry. I think you are sweet and caring. Hope to hear from you. Meaning hear, you mean like here. I got you. I appreciate the nice words, Bianca. I wish I will hear more. For example, Indian women are some of the most beautiful in the world, but they do a lot of skin bleaching because of white beauty standards. But sorry, that's a whole other topic. It is another topic. And, my thing is, the question for me is, how can you arrive to a place where you love yourself? This is the ultimate question. How can you arrive at a place where you will truly, truly love yourself? Not pretending, not doing it for somebody else, but getting to the point where you will feel this internally and you will believe it, that you are enough. And I think when you get there, you might realize that no more skin bleaching will be necessary. I think at that point, you will be happy with yourself. I think that's what more people need. Just been thinking out loud. I think that's what more people need. This is more real than trying to make yourself something else that you're not. Is embracing yourself. Because I think there's only so much you can do to change yourself until you really go on a dangerous path. But I think once you recognize self-love, even if at times you might not like yourself. There's things I don't like about myself. There's sometimes in the past there were things I hated about myself. But I realized like the only way I can really thrive in life is to accept myself. Not to say that I shouldn't try to improve. I'm talking about just physically speaking, the body that I've been given, the appearance that I was given, accepting this and loving this. It just feels right. It feels better than trying to change yourself because of standards, because of somebody else's opinion, because of not loving yourself, you know? I think this is more powerful thing that we can adopt as human beings. Thank you still for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. Let's see. Let's see what else we have. We have more amazing comments. Let me scroll down a little bit. Nas said, I always wondered why are they so logical all the time and everything has to be right and make sense for them. I feel like they can get loose and live a little. You talking about Russian man, I suppose? Um, well, truth be told, it's not just Russian men that logical. A lot of men think logically, and I did speak about it in my previous live streams as well. That men are solution seekers. We evolve and survive for the fact that we were identifying problems and solving them. You know, there's not much. Um, oh God, what is the word? Don't you enjoy to see all my brain farts with words? There's not much value in, you know, being emotional where you need a shelter, right? When you need shelter and when you need protection, you just need to figure out a plan how to build it. There's not much value in contemplating or being illogical where you need to build a successful business, right? um there's not, you know, there's not much value to be emotional and to live a little when you need to hunt a deer in old times, right? In ancient times, when you needed to hunt a deer, you need to be logical to know exactly how you're going to hunt a deer. And if you don't, your tribe is going to die. So we are by nature problem solvers. Man, this is why I think a lot of times it's hard for us just to sit and listen to women without an outcome. Also talked about that already. What is the outcome? We are looking to solve the problem. And if there is no problem to solve, we get disengaged. All right? We don't know what to do. We're learning. We're learning now the difference between men and women, and we're learning that sometimes we just need to listen. And it's excruciating for us, ladies. Not because we don't love you, but because that's now how we operate. Man, when we hang out with men, we just shoot shit, drinking beer, watching game. There is no a drone conversation for 1 hour about feelings. You're not going to find that. All right? So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you talk to men. Help us out sometimes. Sometimes, like, tell us, like, hey, I just want you to listen for a little bit. Fine. If we know, we know. But help us out sometimes. Let's have a compromise. Let's sometimes get to a logical solution. Or if you don't want us to, just let us know that, hey, I'm not looking for a solution. That is my answer, Naz. Becky said, I never wanted to be an overly powerful woman. It just happened out of necessity. But I tone it down when a man shows me I don't have to be with him, that I can relax and not have to handle everything. Yeah, I think this is why it's look, I think this is why it's important to I think I'm going the wrong way with my hair. I don't even know what I'm doing. I think it's important to have a leader of a man who can make you relax. You know? Because if you can relax as a woman in a relationship, it's a beautiful thing. If man got your back, it's a beautiful thing. You don't have to stress. Summer dream. I guess I wonder if it's more socially acceptable in the States if a guy dated a much younger woman, it's frowned upon. Is it the same in Russia? Um, I suppose it is. I suppose there's always going to be people who will be judging. I also think it depends on the age difference. I think it's like if you're talking like 20 years difference, right, towards visible. Yeah, I think some people are not going to like it, but I mean at the end of the day, it's between two people, right? I think of course there's going to be a limit. I think there's like you I mean, you have to figure out for yourself what is not appropriate. You know, like if you old man dating 19 or 20-year-old, probably it's probably not a good look, you know? But the thing is that again, men who are high value, they do it all the time. They do it all the time. This is how I mean, you got to understand this is how a lot of men look at their value. That's how they create their value. It's like if they can get a younger woman to date, it's actually showcases that they are high value men, that they able to get a younger woman. I think that's part of the game. I think that's part of the game. I think that's how men will measure, you know, part of their I don't want to say success. Success is a wrong word, but part of their ability to attract younger women. It's important. The older I get, the more I view men in their 20s as kids, for lack of a better word. They look good, though, just too young for me. Yeah, I get it. I get it. There's probably going to be challenging to find somebody in 20s, a male in 20 who's going to be serious, but not impossible. Sometimes these 20 years olds still fall in love. Summer dream, little bear, how cute. I had a Russian guy call me little chick, like baby chicken. Kurочка. Is that endearing too? Yes, kurочка is endearing for sure. Little chicken, kurочка. Little bear sounds weird. What about marmeladka and dusha? Wow, he's really going at it. You have a good one. Marmeladka is like it's like a little jello candy, you know. Marmelada, it's like very sweet. So he's like essentially saying like sweetness, but he's calling you a candy, like a particular candy. It's like you say, my little Kit Kat, except it's like more of a my little jello candy. So in Russian, it makes sense. And it's also means that he likes you. He likes you. Dusha is soul. That's like really deep. It's like saying you my soul. You know, you know, he might have some plans for you, Claudia. I don't know. He might. Jamie, no, there is a white beauty standard. It is tied up in racism and power grappling, control, etc. Sad. Middle Eastern man. Oh, Боже мой. I suppose you like them. She said, oh my God. I suppose you like them. I suppose you like them. How old are you? I just turned 39. How do you get my phone number to you? How do I get Instagram? That's what I like. Connections being made. That's awesome. A Russian guy's good kisses. Is that a question? Kissers. I suppose so. I suppose they could be. I think there's a lot of conversation. Summer dream. Yes, men often are solution seekers, but women just want you to listen to them when they are feeling emotional. I get it. Listen, I get it. I talked about it in the past as well in some of my live shows. The issue is that you have to meet each other halfway. I'm telling you, I've had a relationship for 2.5 years. I haven't made a video. Maybe I did. I think I talked about it for sure. I talked about it in the past. But listen, I had an ex that we we could not figure it out. We continued to get in a fights over and over again, and we were not married. We didn't have kids, and I just imagined this life, and I said, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm not going to jeopardize my life, and I just had to stop it. I had to end this relationship. Have I made any mistakes? Yes, absolutely. Could I probably done something better? For sure. But that being said, we could not figure it out. Part of the issue was continuous arguing, right? Um, and I was talking to her, but I was trying to figure out the solution, I think, at the time, right? And then when we did that, we spent hours on end talking. And it gets to the point in the end where it's unbearing. Just can't handle it anymore. Love? No, after a while, it's anything but love. It turns into something else. It turns into resentment because you know that that person is going to come in and that person is going to nag at you, nag at you, nag at you. And no, maybe I wasn't equipped at the time to handle it, but I don't know if I would be equipped right now to handle it. Two wrongs don't make it right. You have to meet somehow in the middle. My compromise was I wanted to listen, I wanted to speak, but I also didn't have the capacity, to say, okay, how long are we going to talk about this? Where is the end of this conversation? So sometimes you can reach the solution, and sometimes you have to draw the line. You have to do it. You have to agree to disagree, or you just have to kind of make a pact of how this communication going to flow. And I talked to both genders. I already said that before. I said that men need to figure out how to be simply listening. This is not natural for us. Understand, please. Women, it's not natural for us. And women need to understand that, these talks, long talks, maybe you can shorten it. Maybe instead of hour, it could be 15 minutes. Maybe it could be 20 minutes. I don't know what it like. You have to figure out with your significant other, but you have to understand that this is exhausting. This is exhausting to listen to someone to talk for 1 hour straight and more. You got to understand, like, like we all people, we can communicate. There, nobody in the world, there's no death in the family. You don't need to be telling me for 1 hour how you feel. I feel like if it's not conversational, right? If we're conversating about something, sure. But if you need to just let things out, and if you taken, I feel like more than hour to let out how you feel, it's just a lot of times, ladies. It's just a lot of time. So I guess to me the question becomes is like, where is this sweet spot? How do you meet in the middle to where, okay, man's going to give some, but women got to give some too? I think that's the way. Men get upset because they can't fix something for you, so they get really stressed if they can't. If I ever had an hour conversation about feelings, I would be heading for the door. A lot of men do. When I had this relationship, I would just leave sometimes. I would just leave. I didn't know how else to handle it, so I might as well just leave the house. Good night, Cheyenne. Thanks so much for joining. It was great to have you. Men are very solution oriented. I had an abnormal travel situation and I told my friend about it. He spent 8 hours trying to help and I didn't even ask. That's right. When there is a solution, right? When there is with man, when we actually solving something, right? We can spend hours on end, right? If it's something that requires a solution, we will do anything we can. Like if it's a build a table for you, if it's change your itinerary, travel itinerary, if you need get your internet fixed, if you need to fix something in your yard, we will be there and we will try to figure that out before, like, until it's done. But when we have these conversations, you got to understand, ladies, you got to start learning about man. It can't be just these conversations all the time about just this emotional states, right? As men trying to learn about you and trying to open up to you, meaning when I say open up, meaning like that they trying to meet you and listen to you. I think good men will try to do that, right? Again, what do we do in return? How do we help each other? Are you actually learning about man? I think ones of you watching right now, if you take my opinion, man's opinion, and if you place any value on that, and you actually listen to it, kudos to you, because you can ask other men about it. Don't take just my word for it. Don't just say, oh, Yuri said that. No, what I want you to do, ask men about it. Ask questions instead of just, because I think what happens a lot of times is just people talk at each other, but they don't ask questions. So go out. Next time you're on a date, ask men a question. How do you like to communicate? What would you like to hear from your woman? What would you hate to hear from your woman? Imagine that if somebody asked a man that question. I don't know realistically how often men gets asked those type of questions. I think the regular premises is that man is trying to conquer, win woman over, um, and sometimes the conversation is kind of like, how do we get to the next level, right? It's not very deep, the other word. It's not very deep. I don't think that, like, a lot of people come at it with the aim to really understand another person. Now imagine if you did, you would learn something. So you got to ask these questions, right? You got to ask these questions. So to me, it's about learning about each other. Jamie said, that's why I give them something to do for a while, for me, while I talk a glass of wine, rhyme me bath shoulder wrap. I think it helps the conversation. That's hilarious. I think you got the game down packed, Jamie. That's hilarious. Summer Dream. What makes a high value woman to a Russian man? I've been hearing that buzzword around a lot. Oh my God. Okay. We don't care about your money. Care less about how much money you make. What we care about is somebody who is, not my words, watching other YouTube channels, but I tend to agree. Someone who's cooperative. I would say somebody who's respectful. I think a lot of things you hear from men, somebody who's feminine, beautiful, not only physical trait, but also an internal trait. I still think that physical attraction has to be there. Can't get away from it. Physical attraction can be achieved in different ways, though, because if you're not even trying to take care of yourself, by default, you're not going to be physically attractive. You can be an attractive woman, but if you're going to come on a date with your hair messed up, um, wearing some shitty clothes, and smelling like you were running for 3 miles, right? Or fixing furnace in your house, it's not going to be a good look. So yeah, I would say those things: cooperation, respect, femininity, physical attraction, beautiful, patient, caring. Those would be some really big things. I personally, that's just me. Masculine women, like a general woman. I had a video about a war general woman. That's not gonna fly. I can't date no war general. I just can't do it. Somebody who's going to be coming and speaking loud at the restaurant, um, have this masculine energy where she is like, she's the boss bitch. She is all of that. No, like, I think that you can be confident, you can be strong, but there's a way to present that, right? There's some things that just kind of appalling to me. But look, this is one man's opinion. All right? This is one man's opinion. Yes, just turned 39. Correct. Summer, you're not listening to Kevin Samuels, are you? Heather, what are your thoughts on Kevin Samuels? Would not have guessed that, although you have a very mature mind, that's why you're interested. Thank you, Kaya. I appreciate your kind words. If a man called me little Kit Kat, my mind goes somewhere else with that statement. See, this is the difference between the languages, though. So there are certain things that you cannot use in Russian and interchangeably in English. Plus, I think the context matters. The context in which her man uses it, they're already dating and they already have established rapport. This is not some just stranger who's saying that stuff, right? So there's a difference. Summer dream one that is logical, self-respecting, goal-oriented. I love how we just went from what do you learn from first love to talk about the dating, bunch of different subjects in dating. And of course, I get on my sub box, right? Hashtag rant. That's it. Hashtag rant. It deserves a sound. I don't know if it's relevant, but that was a wolf howl. This was hashtag rant. Hashtag rant is when I go and just continue talking because thoughts are just pouring into my head. And why not let the universe take its toll on the world? Oh my God. Hashtag rant, baby. Let's go. Let's go. What time is it? Oh my God, 11:14, but it's Friday. We're hanging out. I always tell myself I'm going to go and be done within 1 hour in these live streams. And I can never do that because once my community start asking me questions, I just can't stop. I just can't stop. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin Samuels. That's who I was thinking of. He always bashing or women. See, the thing is, like, Summer Dream, here's the thing. I think his delivery is not for everyone. I think a lot of people get turned off by what he says, how he says it, right? His body language, and sometimes he could be very direct and somewhat harsh to women. But I also think that a lot of things that he says has value because you see more and more women single, you see more and more women unhappy, you see more and more men not wanting to date certain women. So it's not about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is one man. Don't shoot the messenger. It's about what's going on in the society. How can we make sense of what's going on in the society? Do we have problems? I think we clearly have problems because there's a lot of men and a lot of women dying alone. They have cats and dogs. So what is it? Like, there is legitimate things that we have to face as a society. So we might not like how one person presents these messages, but how can we extract what's being communicated? How can we make sense out of it? And, you know, how can we apply that? What can we learn from it? To me, those are the questions, because data also don't lie, right? And we can pull up data of divorces, of how many people are single. And I don't think you're going to like it, because I think this number is going to be considerably higher than in the past. Oh gosh, I listened to 2 of his shows and never went back. He's raising up future incense. What is incense? Incels. I gotta look up incels. Hold on. Let me Google translate that. See, this is the fun thing about being Russian. Incels. Is that the correct spelling? It's not showing me anything. What is this word? I don't know what you meant, Heather. Um, let's see. With that girlfriend you mentioned, there wasn't going to be a compromise. It might have been her way of spending time with you. Um, perhaps. Indigo Strength, thank you for being here. So you got to put out. What is it in regards to? Give me more context. I'm not sure what you mean. It's really scary how many channels are growing that are attracting sexist men and incels. Why is it not coming up? Why is the word incel is not coming up? I don't understand. What's the full word? What's the full word of incel? Because it's clearly not coming up on Google Translate. I'd like to know what the meaning of that is. The gulf between men and women seem to be growing with each generation. It is true, if a Russian guy hits you, it's because he loves you. I think it's nonsense. He said, men don't care about your degrees, ladies. I care about my woman being educated and intelligent. That's what I care about. Now, will it measure it by a degree? I mean, like, would I look at it and say, okay, she doesn't have masters, or she doesn't have MBA? No, like, remove. Or she's not PhD. No, remove. Oh, she has bachelor's in psychology. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's not the primary reason that I'm going to look at when I look for a mate, for a partner, I mean. I fear for women. Any channel that is growing like that, should be flagged as a huge group. There are incels out there that will kill us. Have you Summer, did you say that you watch his videos? Summer Dream, have you actually watched some of his videos? Let me know. It's true. I just called a friend and he agreed. It's excruciating to listen to women talk about feelings beyond an hour. He said 35 to 40 minutes is cutoff time. Another man confirming. And I said like 15 to 20. He's generous. He's willing to listen for 35 to 40 minutes. I don't know. I 35 to 40 minutes is a lot of time as well. I mean, how much time do you need to communicate your feelings? Is this so? Let me ask you, ladies, is the value come in the fact that man listens, or the value comes in the amount of time that man listens? Because if you value the man based on the duration of time that he invests in listening to you, and this is the metric that you're using, I don't believe it's a fair game. I think that it should be based on whether or not the message was accepted, right? If he listened to you, if he acknowledged the message, if he understood the message, if he resonated with message, that is the more important metric than the duration of time. Now, listen, if you're going to put duration of time as a metric, and this is how you're going to evaluate, I truly believe that you're going to be the one to lose, because it's a skewed thing. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know? Because it almost feels like a test. It feels more like a test than a legitimate way to communicate. So I just want to warn you. I just want you to, put it out there in the universe. I'm putting these messages out in the universe right now. Okay? I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to all the women out there in the world. All the women in the world. While I'm looking for my proper sound effect.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
And the message that I'm putting out in the world is simply this. Look at the end result, and look if your message actually was listened to, and the effort that was put into listen to your message, not the duration that it took for a man to listen to it. Believe it or not, there is what some of their old generations think, so it's actually accepted in the society. Well, I don't watch him a lot, but I think some points he makes sounds like typical men's thoughts. He's going to have a lot of low quality men thinking they're high quality in treating women. You got to explain more, Heather. I don't know what sounds like typical men's thoughts. What is the typical man thoughts? You got to explain this. Because when we say things like this, we just leave a lot of questions. I have no idea what the typical man thoughts are. No man, we should be no man should be hitting women. That is no man in my book. Plus maybe we shouldn't be physically hitting each other in any shape or form. I don't think that violence is ever a solution. I think violence is a slippery slope. Heather, I cannot use his clip because he has a disclaimer not to use his content without his permission. So my channel can get flagged, and I can get copyright strike, which I do not want. We want to hear about Russian men, Yuri. I'll be making more videos, Summer Dream. But if you have any immediate questions, please, 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 please submit them. Please. You've been doing some amazing questions, so I appreciate you. Your remark requires a sound effect as well. Smash this like button if you just joined us. We talk about the actual subject that we were discussing earlier was top lessons from your first love. All right, but we transition into other things, and it's been a fascinating conversation ever since. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here on Friday night. You can be anywhere in the world, but you here with me, aka Prototype Family. I appreciate you very, very much. So we're going to continue for a little bit until people get tired, because we have some amazing questions. We have some amazing community here, and we interacting on this Friday night. Let's go. And I have my phone with new app that I downloaded. I'm making these amazing sound effects that is simply amazing. I'm having so much fun with that. I can barely stand the amount of fun that I'm having right now. It's just unbelievable. So thank you for being here. Let's continue on. Joanna Gutierrez. Hola, Yuri. Hello, Joanna. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. You said, hola, Yuri. First comment in Spanish. If a Russian guy wants to share and read a book with a girl, that is a good sign. What are the good signs? Greetings from Colombia. Colombia is in the house. Hello, hello. Super excited to see you. If a Russian guy wants to share and read a book with you, with a girl, I think it could be a good sign, because this means that guy potentially wants to spend time with you in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form, right? So I would view it as a good thing, potentially maybe there is an interest, but maybe he's really interested in the book too. Who knows? But I think if I had to guess, just based on this comment alone with no further context, I think he might have some sort of interest in you as a person, whether it's romantic or friendship or intellectual, who knows? But maybe there's some interest. Incel, a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually. Oh, goodness. This is a whole different topic. I don't even know if we should start on this tonight, because we're going to be here for a while. But thank you for this. Thank you for sending me this. I appreciate that. I think I have to go back to your previous comment to even remember what it was about, but it's very interesting. Consider themselves unable to attract women sexually. Define themselves as unable to get a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. Sad story. Discussions in incel forums are often characterized by resentment and hatred, misogyny, misanthropy, self-pity, and self-loathing, racism, a sense of entitlement to sex, and endorsement of violence. See, these things are terrible. I'm not. I see. The thing is this. I would like to talk about these subjects, trying to be as objective as possible, trying to hold accountable both genders, and trying to make sense from some of it without really losing focus. because I'm interested in cause and effect. I'm interested in what causes something and what effect it has, right? Within the relationship in particular, right? So some of these things that you mentioned, the blonde 1990, those are distractions, you know? Let's bring it back. So hatred, self-pity, self-loathing, racism, those things are distractions to me. Um, I don't think that they addressing the issues of some of the real issues that we have in relationships. At least it seems to me. So why focus on them when we can be talking about things that are relevant? Summer Dream said, I think a lot of people are fine with being single forever. They want to build a community of friends that they can turn to instead. I think if that's your choice, more power to you. I don't think there's anything, I mean, like some people will disagree, but if you want to be single all your life, then go do it. Just my thing is don't deceive other people who don't want to be single. And that's the hardest thing to do. Felicia said, I suppose you're referring to, Felicia, I suppose you're referring to Kevin Samuels. Your comment is he has some good points 20% of the time, but the majority of that is him blowing smoke. He's detrimental to the black community in some ways. A lot of the reason why we are so divided. So what I would like to know from you, the people who made, who watch this Kevin Samuels channels and or videos, not channels, his channel and videos on his channel. Give me an example. Like, give me a specific thing that he said. Um, let's not take into account how he said it because, as I said, his delivery is not for everybody, right? But what exactly being said and what problem you have with that? Because I would like to know. I think that would be an interesting discussion if we can shift that way. If you find an example, you don't have to do it tonight, but maybe tomorrow live stream or something. Find an example of his video, um, and let's discuss it. You know what he said exactly. Why do you have a problem with that? And put it out there. Indigo said, "Yeah, I don't like talking. I'm probably going to keep it short and sweet." Indigo, are you a female? Are you a male? That will make a difference here. Strong ballerina, I don't think a woman is thinking about time when she is talking. What are you thinking about? Another fascinating comment. What goes through your mind? And I'm not being funny. I really would like to know what goes through your mind when you're talking. Why Russians abuse alcohol and cigarettes? Do they not care it will jeopardize their health? Also have a video about it. 3 bad habits of Russian men. Please check it out. Okay, Nash, check it out and comment under the video. If you have further questions, I will gladly address it. The Blah 1990. Shorter definition: members of an online subculture who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one usually have rants about women in racist and misogyny. His presence, him listening and actually caring. Trust me, women are not thinking about time. His presence, he's listening and actually caring. So, perfect. I'm glad that you said that, Strong Ballerina. So, how do we get the ultimate question is, how do we make it fair? Because women care about fair. I think men start caring about fair more. How do we make it fair? You know? What is the fair deal? Because clearly there comes a time where men become irritated. We hit our threshold, we hit our ceiling. So how do we make it fair? for both parties. I would like to hear your thoughts on that. Jamie said, value that he listens and hears me. I think that women are like a boiling pot, and we talk so long to release all the things we have to keep quiet about in the workplace, public, etc. Lanishka, talking about feelings for long duration, I think it goes on for 30 to 40 minutes. Side note, Cynthia can be harsh on black men, but she makes some valid points. Who is Cynthia? Summer Dream. I have watched Kevin Samuels in the past, but his followers just seem to comment about how much they dislike women, or they will think that women are only after men for their money, which is not true. The woman is probably releasing the energy of the situation. Heather said, typical men's thoughts, being attracted to traditional gender roles, for instance. Oh, my goodness gracious. I don't know about that, Heather. I think that if you ask 100 men right now in the United States, so I'm going with this sample, not super small, right? Not 10, but let's go 100 men. 100 or 1,000 men. What is the percentage that you think of men that's going to talk about traditional gender roles? Like realistically, if you ask 100 men, how many of them will tell you about being attracted to traditional gender roles? I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't think that there's going to be majority at all. Becky, regarding men listening, when I feel I heard and or feelings acknowledged, might only take 5 or 10 minutes. Occasionally, if I need to vent, about 20 minutes. That's just me though. See, to me, if two people learn how to communicate with each other, right? Um, if man pays attention what his woman is telling him, and this woman knows that this man listens, I guess it comes back again to this difference between genders, right? Because in my mind, like, well, you can just simply state how you feel and be done with it. But that's not how women communicate. It is not solution oriented at times. It is needs to be communicated in emotion and just get it out, right? I want to also caution you ladies to understand that when you do that, right? When you do that, you got to realize that you're emotional, you dumping a lot of emotional energy, right? This emotional energy, like your husband or your boyfriend is not your psychiatrist. He's there for you, but he also not supposed to be your punching bag, your emotional punching bag. So again, my question becomes, where is the balance? Because if the only thing that you are doing is spending significant amount of time every day telling him about all the problems, it's going to start taking toll on him as well, right? I think it's only logical to assume that, right? So where is the balance? Can those things be communicated in a way um, to where you can keep his attention, to where he's not going to feel like he's exhausted with that, right? I don't know. So just a couple of thoughts there, because I can see how it can become very tiresome to listen to someone's thoughts, especially if they're thoughts of all the negative things over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, Cyan is in the house. What's up? Long time no see. Thank you for being here. Hi, I know I'm back from that. I was busy with summer classes and school volleyball. I just started the fall semester last Tuesday. Hey, I'm glad you're here. So thank you for coming back from the dead. You never been dead. You always been alive. You just been busy. Appreciate you so much for hanging out and coming back. Um, let's see. I'm definitely like missing some of the comments and stuff. There's internal interactions going, which is great. 100% is good to see you, Cyan. Lanishka, how to make it fair when she's emotional and where's the continuation? When she's emotional, is this the next part? Man, listening, when she's emotional and has problem, ask her if she wants help with the problem or if she wants you just to be here for her. Yeah. Yeah, I think we talked about that as well. We talked about that for sure. It makes sense. Gender roles can be good. I want to be a housewife. So then what you're saying is, Heather, if I understand you correctly, then you like the idea of typical man's response, right? Because I think in the previous comment, I took it as if, you know, the typical man response was like a negative connotation. So I am I'm just trying to understand. I'm not trying to be difficult, just trying to understand the train of thought. Because I thought you were saying that like the typical man response isn't a good one. Because a typical man response would entail them referring to gender roles. But this comment, you're saying gender roles can be good. You want to be a housewife, so you're saying it's actually a good thing? Kaya, many women talk to process emotions and talk to come to a level of comfort. It would be more fair to talk through with a trusted woman friend, and then once you are clear, then talk to the guy. Oh, that's interesting thought. We were more fair to talk through with a trusted woman friend, and then once you're clear, you need emotional clearance. Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh my god, I need a sound for that. Who's at the door? It's your friend. I'm going to listen to your emotional clearance. That's awesome. Oh man, it is good to see you and everyone as well. Things have been even more crazy with my mom and others there that are close to me catching COVID. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I hope I hope everyone is safe, Cyan. On a side note, I'm a big fan of women venting the stress of the day physically as well as verbally. Boxing is fun and I clean when I have a bad day too. Just some suggestions. Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. Samuel said in a video about a single mother and telling her that she needs to settle because she is an average looking woman. Now, the woman has her own business and she's successful. Let's see if there's continuation. And being a single mother, they robbed me the wrong way. Yeah, I can understand it. I can understand it. And I think these are like super complex topics to address, right? Um, because I think a lot of things, what he's talking about, he is big on telling people like market will speak louder than words, right? So I think a lot of things that he's trying to convey, it's like asking questions, if you still on the market, you know, why are you single, right? Those type of things. But and I don't know, it's hard for me to comment on that because like I can see some validity in it, but I don't know if it's the entire picture, and I don't know if there's some other things that should be part of this discussion, you know. um I think certainly how like some of the some of the things and how it's communicated could come across harsh. um I think here, even in tonight's live show, we talked about, somebody asked a question earlier about what's really important for men. And I think it's hard to get away from the fact that men are visual and men are look like, you know, one of the first step is being attracted physically to a woman. It's a hard thing to get away from, you know. um and then a single mom is like, I respect single mothers because my mom was single, but I realize it's probably, you know, it's also different dating as a single mom. So Felicia, share your thoughts on it. What do you think, like what are the challenges that single moms are facing, you know, and how do you think that single moms can overcome them? I would like to be a housewife if I have any kids under 2 years old. what what if you have kids over 2 years old? Heather said, Felicia, was he implying that she couldn't do better because of her child? Felicia said, basically, she was not a good looking woman. Even if she's successful, she should settle with the low value man. Yeah, she's fine and she's back at work. Thanks for your concern. Okay. You were talking about your mom, right? Heather said, yeah, Yuri, I meant that he reveals how men think. You're talking about Kevin Samuels reveals how men think. I don't think that all men think that way, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'd chew the meat and spit out the bones, so to speak. Some things he says I don't agree with, but I glean how men think from him when I used to watch him. Sounds like he places women's value on beauty and youth, not accomplishments. Kevin Samuels, I mean. I think, look, I think the fascinating thing about this conversation is observe what's really happening in the society, right? Um, I mean, the question becomes, you know, is there data, statistical data, that will showcase how many women, you know, successful women are still single? You know, why are they still single? Um, I don't believe that. I don't. Yeah, it did, Heather. It did. This life took a mighty turn. It sure did, a big one. Um, what I was gonna say. Um, I don't think that. Um, you said that they sounds like he places women's value on beauty and youth, not accomplishments. I think that some men could be intimidated by women's accomplishments. Some men, right? But some higher value men that also accomplish a lot, I don't necessarily think that they are seeking out women based on accomplishments alone, right? I think the first point of connection that they look for has a lot to do with physical attraction. I think we might not like the admit to idea, but how do you think they select women realistically? How, so, point that I'm making is this: if you have, let's just be generous, let's just say that we have between 10 and 20% of high value men in America. I think this number is lower. I think it's more like between 8 to 10%, but let's just say it's 10 to 20%. Now, these men, these high value men, 10 to 20%, these are the men who will get the majority of women. Majority of women. They will have their choices of women. They can get any women because that's what women are attracted to. Women are attracted to high value men. So, even if you accomplish women, right? Even if you're a good looking woman, you're accomplished woman, you're still going to compete with the majority of other women who are after these type of men. And so I think, to me, when I think about it, it's no longer just about your accomplishments. I think your accomplishments are great, but I think when you compete against so many other women for these top quality men, that, by the way, these accomplished women going to be attracted to, these accomplished women going to be going after accomplished men. These accomplished women not going to date down, right? So if you're an accomplished woman, you're going to be competing with a whole lot of other women that this man will have access to. That's the way I see it. And I don't believe that this high value man will select their women thinking about their accomplishments first. They're going to select them based on attraction, however they define this attraction, which a lot of them will define it based on the physical attraction. You know? And so, and this is where I think the problem appears. You know, that if you have five like high value women that could be beautiful, could be very nice, human beings who might indeed accomplish a lot, intelligent, but they're not being proposed to, they're not being married to. So we can have the conversation and we can demonize, circumstances, we can demonize men for it, but how can we be objective about it? How can we look at it and say, well, what is really going on? And I think there's a combination of things at play, right? I think that some of these women probably not willing to date down. They want to date this best man. It's going to have ridiculous competition, right? And so that's a big part of it. It seems to me. They want a pretty housewife. Why you keep bringing up a housewife? Why? When did we say a housewife in this conversation? That's what I'm missing. We talked about attractive women. I don't think I said housewife once. My blood pressure went up talking about this little man. I don't know how we got here. We just started talking. Forever Surf girl. Hello. Thank you for being here. What do you think is the highest appropriate age gap in relationships where one person is under 30? Goodness gracious. Oh my god. I can't put an age on it. I mean, I think it's about it's between two people. It's between two people. If two people are happy together and they want to be together, who am I to say how, how many years they should have apart? Something happy, I think that we learn a lot about some real issues in communication for both men and women tonight. Yeah, it feels that way. It was a cool conversation. It was really cool. We almost at 3 hours. That's so cool. Physical attraction in youth. Well, that's depressing. It's I think that look, I think there are people out there in the world for different people. Um I just think it's like it's becoming more aware of ourselves. It's becoming more realistic about, what do you want and what you can get. I might want a Bentley, but can I afford a Bentley? Right? So it doesn't mean you need to settle for the worst. I just think you need to be reasonable about yourself, about your situation, what you can get. What makes a man or woman of high value? Did God Himself come down on earth and tell these people that they are better than all of His creations? We're not ready for this convo yet. Yeah, I don't think we are. I don't think we need to go there because that's going to be a long and excruciating one. D, what's up? Thanks for being here. Men want femininely feminine, I think, or femininely women, not another man unless they want some on to dominate them. I think a lot of men do want feminine women. Lanichka, I have to say good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. It was awesome hanging out. Summer Dream, I think as women, we have to remind ourselves and each other that being a housewife shouldn't be a shameful thing. We just stuck on this housewife thing. See, Heather, you started a fire over here. You started it with the housewife term. I think the root of attraction is biological. Then the other factors dictate if we go for someone or not. I love this. D said toxic feminism bashes women who want to be housewives. Those are liabilities, yo. There is nothing wrong with being a housewife as long as that wasn't the only choice the woman had. Yeah, I think beautiful thing is that people have a power of choice. Like we talk about these things, but nobody is forced nowadays to be a housewife. And if somebody does force you, you don't have to stay in a relationship. Hello, I keep saying those things, but this thing's real. You know, you have a choice to make, whether you a woman or a man. You have a choice to make to be in a relationship with someone or not. So let's not act as if we don't have any say in the relationship in these situations, because quite frankly we have a lot of options. All late was having out with the nephew and nieces. That's all good. You can see a little bit in the beginning. This live stream was so interesting, yo. This is like, this is started out me talking about my life, my first love story, and I reminisced about how sweet it was. And then it went to Kevin Samuels, traditional roles in housewives, and it went literally from it went from to oh my god, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this stuff up. I'm telling you, this is real life. This is real life. Let's see a couple more comments and I think we can depart. It's midnight on the East Coast. I think we covered just about everything we can talk about. Love your comments. I appreciate you so very much. What I really love about this community is that we can have these conversations. They can get a little dicey. We're not agreeing on things, we're sharing our opinions, but at the end of the day, you know, we live today, another day. We come back the next day. We still have the conversations and we agree to disagree. D said, that's right. That's the beauty of life and having that freedom as a woman in 21st century. That's a privilege many forget. I agree. Am said, I think a woman's accomplishments give her more financial freedom to live and work how she please. But in romance, it doesn't guarantee man attraction and attention to them. I do not think that when here's what I say about this. There's going to be some broke man who will look for a woman like that, who will gladly take a woman like that, who can support him. But that usually does not last, because once woman sees that she's being used for her resources, she usually doesn't stay in those type of relationships. She leaves. That percentage of men, I think, very, very small, right? Because women typically vet their men out. They also know who the guy who is worth her time. But the guy who worth her time, who's actually has his own career, financially independent, you know, can support himself, can do the things that he likes to do. That type of man, he's not looking at your money. He does not care how much money you make. You know, if we're talking somebody, let's just say again, a man who makes between, let's just say, you know, mid-class to higher to more of a top earner, right? Somebody who makes between 75 to 100 grand a year. Even let's just say 50 to 75 grand a year. Let's lower it. If a man makes 50 to 75 grand a year, this man can sustain himself and he can have a decent lifestyle. They did a study. They said that once you hit 75 grand a year, there's not a significant lifestyle difference, or quality of life, not lifestyle, sorry. There's not significant quality of life difference, meaning that you have decent house, you have a car, you probably have a job, insurance, you can eat pretty much whatever you want, you can take care of yourself. There's not a whole lot of things that you cannot do with 75 grand or more. Actually, let's just stay at 75. It's 75 grand if you manage your money correctly. All right. So the man who makes 75 grand, he's not going to care how much money the woman makes, because he can support himself. He can be a provider. It's a decent income. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be rich. Na 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 na. What is the words? The Prince. All I want is kiss. Prince told you, you ain't gotta be rich to be my girl. You ain't gotta be rich to rock my world. It's Prince, baby. It's classic. Listen to the Prince. You ain't gotta be rich to be my girl. Some women are still denied the ability to make other choices. They are pushed into boxes by family and friends and society, by economics and other factors. It's not just as easy as go to college. I guess this is very sad. Do you think that this demographic is a majority? Do you think that this demographic is a majority? Not to say that we shouldn't be solving these problems. I think we should be. But I think there's also great responsibility that will lies on these women's shoulders to speak out to get away from these situations. Can we make a pact not to discuss Kevin Samuels again? Hey, we're going with what community wants to discuss, right? If Kevin Samuels' name comes up, I didn't bring it up. Somebody in the comments did. So, you know, I'm I'm just going with what you guys talking about. Hands. I suppose you want to fight him now? D. Oh no, I don't allow that. LOL. Not dating ATM, just focusing on myself. ATM. So many comments. So many comments. Too many men who have money are arrogant from my experience that turns me off. See, the thing is, this is the dilemma. If these men are so arrogant with money, why are women after them? Why they get so many women? It happens all the time. You know, we can sit and demonize men with money, but women will go with them. Women will spend time with them. Women will date them. So there's a clear disconnect here. Jamie said, "I think it's enough women to I think it's enough women to be a real issue. I can send you a data if you like." Yeah, please do. I would like to see the data. Absolutely. Thank you Yuri, for kicking this off with a super sweet story. Thank you, ladies, for the interesting conversation. To circle back, Yuri, I hope you find another magical love soon. Thank you so much, Kai. I appreciate it. Um, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful day or night. You in New Zealand, right? Is it day or night over there? Kevin Samuels is now officially a byword and curse word here. Oh my goodness. Come on, Heather. You are making prohibiting statements. Gold diggers, or they like the power of dynamics. I can't believe how much time went by. Thanks for the live stream. Good night, Yuri. Good night. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I think we've been at it for a while, community. It's 12:09. I know it's Friday. I think we discussed more than we bargained for. I think it was supposed to be a first live story, and it became something else. Uh, no, Heather, I love when you speak your mind, even if we don't agree. I love when you speak your mind. Never stop. Um, just after 4 p.m. Saturday. Nice. So you just about to have a nice, lovely evening over there because it's Friday night. I know. It ended up being completely different conversation, which is fine. I appreciate you hanging out here. I'm trying to think a plan for tomorrow. Let me know in the comments. I'm open to do one live stream tomorrow, but I wanted to gauge if people even interested to ha- to have a live stream tomorrow. What would you like to hear? Is there something that you would like to talk about tomorrow? I feel like we need to sing Amazing Grace or something to bring the calm. Praises to the Lord. The devil had me for a minute, but I shook him off. Oh my God. Oh my God, Felicia. Goodness gracious. You good. Don't worry. Your spirit is still pure. Your spirit is still pure. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, I didn't have I did not have um I did not have something planned for tomorrow. So what I think I'm going to do, community, I think I'm going to focus on creating more videos and working on some other things. There's some other exciting things in the works. I'm just actually applied for Amazon affiliate program. So I believe now I will be able to have some Amazon products um, and links available in my video descriptions. And so I was looking at it yesterday a little bit. There will be some Russian books with Russian words. So for those of you who interested speak Russian, um, I think there will be some definitely some other books that I will look into and just putting in description that I think would be good reads for people to have. So there's going to be things coming down the pipe, coming down the line that um, you'll be able to take advantage of through affiliate links in Amazon that I will be recommending. So that's pretty exciting. The website I had to get back to. The website has been kind of on the back burner. So I really have to get back into it. I'm looking forward to your feedback regarding Liz live streams. I know when people see it on YouTube, it may seem overwhelming, seeing the timestamp for like hour and a half, 2 hours. This one's going to be over 3 hours. Realistically, I haven't been getting like as many views on these live streams as opposed to regular videos, which is not the main focus, but obviously I still would like to continue growing the channel. So any ideas that you have how to make them better, I think I certainly want to shorten them to make them more dynamic. I think in the last 2 weeks we were just connecting and chatting and interacting, which I love. But I'm also very, very open um, for just towards your suggestions of how to make these live streams, continue to improve them, how to make them more enticing, I suppose, for other people to watch. Any other feedback that you might have from your perspective, since you are the ones who've really been attending them and being part of them. What else could be done to make them better, and just continue to work on that. But I think yeah, this is a good suggestion. I was thinking about that, highlighting the clips from the long streams. Absolutely. And it's not to make an excuse. I think that it's a very valuable suggestion. It's just, it's going to, I'm going to need to spend a significant amount of time, because you can imagine now I have, just in the last 2 weeks, I probably have like 20 hours worth of these things. And it's used to be beforehand when I was doing once a week on Saturday, I would have between 2 to 3 hours that I can just sort through and pick some things out. And now it would be way, way more content. So not a bad problem to have, but just from a time management standpoint, there's only so much time you have, one man show. So love your suggestion, Heather. Just trying to figure out and wrap my mind around how I'm actually going to do it, um, and how I'm going to pick this. So I think for now, as opposed to just going through them, all the hours and hours of footage, um, it's almost like it almost makes more sense to just create more videos, shorter videos, and then just over time to pick and choose, pull some of the things from previous live streams and start compiling them in the shorter videos as clips, potentially start bringing value to community that way, maybe some highlights from live streams. So I can certainly see that being super valuable, um so I appreciate your feedback, because I was thinking about it. I was just dreading I was dreading the amount of time that it was going to take to do this editing. Are the views better when you have guests versus when it's just you and us? I don't even think there's a correlation between that, because there's like two or three videos in live streams that perform very well, and I think it has to do with the topic more so than whether or not somebody was there on the live stream, because people don't know when they look for a specific topic on YouTube, they have no idea whether or not I had live streams. And actually, few times when I did have live streams and I highlighted people on my thumbnail, it didn't result in increased views. So I really don't think there's a correlation between that. I think it's more of the topic of the video that people resonate with. They click on the video and they give it a chance more so. So it also means that I need to take a little bit more time to research the topic and how I'm going to title it. Because if you notice, sometimes you give me a suggestion, I take your suggestion, but I still title it a certain way. I do my little bit of research beforehand, so actually present it and package it in a way that people could be interested in. And people, when they look on the YouTube, they can actually discover the video. But another challenge is that people normally, a lot of times, people not gonna want to watch 2-hour video. That's just the reality of it. That's why short content wins. What what's really cool about this is just opportunity to connect with my community in a completely different way, right? We're interacting, we're talking, we're exchanging opinions, we even like kind of arguing or disagreeing, right? So we having this live interaction. That's the value of that, and that's more of a value with these live streams than people searching for it and watching it, because it's just not going to have the same views as shorter pieces of content. It just won't, at least for now, what it's proven. um maybe maybe one day when I have Joe Rogan as a live guest, I will just put in conversation with Joe Rogan and it just goes berserk. I can see that that's been the case, but obviously that's more of a fantasy than reality. Partner in crime, yeah, maybe make Russian speaking videos or speak Russian to people who don't really know but try to figure it out. Would gladly volunteer. Oh, to film. Yeah. Some of these things are, there's a lot of ideas, but with things like that, there would need to be two people operation at least. So we'll have to, it's like this. I'll give you an example so you can understand. So just long story short, the preparation time to make that type of video, Felicia, to where one person is going to film, another person is going to be talking with people, right? The preparation and execution of this type of video is going to take a significant amount of time, because what I'm doing right now, I'm putting camera on, I'm jotting down some notes for the titles that I want, then I just do a quick script, then I go on the camera and I make a video. So it's a one-man operation. When you're trying to pull off something like that, you need to have another individual. You need to make sure that the mic is working, and you need a different type of mic. Another person need to be standing far away to where people don't see the interaction, unless you're trying to make it obvious that you are creating a video, which I think could be both, could be good in, both versions could be good. But I think some of the things that we're mentioning before, it's like doing a hidden camera video where other person doesn't even realize he's being filmed. You just get the consent later, right? So those are would be interested, but the amount of time that is going to make this video, it becomes a question. Is spending half of the day making one of these videos going to be worth it versus making 3 or 4 or potentially 5, recording 3 or 4 or 5 regular videos? What's going to be the best investment, or what's going to cause the best return on investment? And I'm not very convinced that the hidden camera video communication will yield the better return on investment at this time. I would like to try it one day, but right now time is so limited with everything that goes on. Yes, Russian practice with someone teaching words to people. It's a cool idea. I think the idea that I had that I was sharing with you all is like asking somebody something in Russian, like in a park, and then just seeing their reaction. I think that would be interesting, you know. But I think to make it truly cool and interesting, it needs to be a hidden camera, and you need to make it somehow to where you kind of gauge reaction of people. So like it's a significant difference between what I'm doing now and a production that I would need to do in order to make that happen, you know. I think the videos build your follower base, then the people follow the lives that how I followed you of one of the YouTube videos. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like, building the followers little by little. um and I'm a young channel. I think that like my value proposition is still comes back to dating Russian men. That's why my channel grown. It's not because me talking about just general concepts, dating concepts. I think the reason my channel took off is because I was talking about dating a Russian man. This is my niche. So really I still have to continue to work on that niche before my channel gets, there's a point at which your channel gets so big, it doesn't matter what you start talking about, right? So it could be like Mr. Beast, one of the most relevant YouTubers that I don't even know how many subscribers, more than 60 million subscribers now. I think I could be wrong. It's a lot of subscribers, but he's no longer doing anything in particular. He just does whatever he wants, and he gets ridiculous number of views because it's always something interesting, something original, um, something unique. And so when you're starting your channel, you can't do that. You have to stick to a niche to allow your channel to grow. If you're going to be doing different videos, it can actually deter the growth of your channel, which I'm trying to avoid. So I still have to like it's continue to undress my niche, but the way I go about it, obviously I'm connecting with you through these lives where you can see me interact in real time. We don't talk about just Russian man. We talk about a bunch of stuff. We're just sharing all the time, right? Um, so that's a cool thing. So I'm still engaging, I feel like, in different opportunities with you all. But when it comes to YouTube channel and kind of the main niche, it still will be smarter of me to stick to that Russian dating man type of theme for now until I can really continue to grow the channel. But hopefully, based on the numbers, it's still growing, so people still connecting with the message, I believe. I was searching Russian culture and language. Here we go. So it's still, YouTube recommends me because I have few of these other videos as well. So even though Russian man is an anchor, I can still sprinkle other things because my initial goal with the channel was to talk about Russia in general, in different aspects of Russia. But then when my relationship videos took off, when I was talking about Russian men, that's where I really started doubling down, on relationship with Russian men type of topics, and I just continue to build on that. I will search for something on YouTube and propose it for an Instagram live or something. Sounds good. Space Oddity. Hey Yuri, long time no see. Not sure if you remember me. I do remember you. I remember your picture in your name. I don't think that I don't believe that we ever connect on other platform or I ever interact with you um elsewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Do survey of followers on how they found you or started following you. Research. Yeah, that's a good idea. That could be poll posted. I like that. I like that suggestion. This could be done. I'm gonna screenshot it real quick, Jamie. Screenshot this. Yeah, the live shows are amazing. The live shows are just, it's so cool to connect with everyone. It's so cool to have these live conversations. It's nerve wracking, but I think at this point I'm kind of like becoming a little bit more numb to the fact that I'm less than perfect. I don't think I'm going to be perfect, and that's okay. Right, because no one else talks about Russian men on YouTube, so you feel the void. It feels that way. So I just gotta continue on. The thing is, I don't. The more I do it, the coolest thing about this is that the more I do it, I feel like I'm connecting with people. I've connected with some amazing people again all over the globe. Right? It's last time I looked at analytics, it's only 40% US, and then the rest of it is international community. So that's amazing. Secondly, I feel like people getting value out of it. I continue to receive comments that people really enjoy the channel. People learn something that helped them in their relationships. This is the biggest reward that I can ask for. Hearing those comments and the fact that like women literally saying, "Hey, I learned something about Russian man. I'm dating a Russian man. Thank you for to your channel. I really appreciate that." That is like one of the biggest rewards that I can get. I got few comments that I almost cheered up because of what people said. And then of course it's just learning as I make these videos. Like I continue to my mind continue to wonders. Like I feel like I create library of things that I can take and then write a book potentially later, or maybe ebook or something like that, because these concepts are continue to build on themselves. And whether it's not even, I don't even think it matters whether it's right or wrong. I think there seem to be like, if you sharing your thoughts, um and if they make sense to some people, if some people connect with them, that's all that matters, right? And so it seems to me that as it continues, as these videos continue to be developed, more ideas to continue to be developed, there's a depth of these discussions and depth of these videos continue to evolve. And this is the coolest thing to experience as a content creator. I think it's just a thing that continues to build on itself over and over and over again. Or you have helped me to understand a lot of why my boyfriend does certain things. And see, like Jamie, hearing things like that, that is like one of the biggest rewards that I can ask for. Because if it's ultimately it's about value. Ultimately it's about value that it can provide to other people, you know? That's what it's all about. It's value. And if value is there, then it's,
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
I love this thing so much. I just need a device. I need a device where I can upload the sounds and just do those sounds without looking at my phone, just pressing the button. It's coming. Look, the evolution of this channel is excites me. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm going to shut up. I appreciate all of you who've been here, but I was just going to say the evolution of this channel excites me a whole lot. Um, I can talk about it all night. It's just amazing to see how it started and where it's now. It hasn't been a year yet, guys. It has not been a year yet. It's I have goosebumps. I literally have goosebumps right now on my skin. This channel was started in, I think September 13th was the first video. It was September. It was September. So it's just approaching 1 year. And it feels surreal. Kaya, you're still here. I thought you left already. You stuck around for a little bit longer. My friends, onward and upward. Yeah, I mean, let's just give quick shout outs. Kaya, thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. I appreciate you for sticking around here for over 3 hours. Heather, I appreciate you stick around for over 3 hours, sharing your true thoughts, not shying away from, putting your opinions out there. I know it's sometimes not easy. I know it's not easy for me sometimes to tell you things that, you might not see eye to eye with. So I appreciate that. Jamie, I appreciate your kind words. I appreciate you being here for so long. Just sharing your experiences, sharing your opinions. It was awesome to have you. Space Oddity, thank you for jumping in. I hope that you can join next time again. Thank you for stopping by. Felicia, I finally met you in person tonight. It was so cool to have dinner with you. I appreciate your support. You are like one of the hardest, truest fans ever. Thank you for being here and hanging out. Um, who else is here right now? D, I'm not sure if you're still watching, but thank you for jumping on and still commenting and contributing to the conversation. I think everybody else might be going. There are some other people here, but you're not commenting. So, I'm not sure if you're still here, but thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Summer Dream was here earlier, so thank you also contributing a lot to conversation. That was awesome. Lillian was here earlier, also sharing her experiences, being open and vulnerable. Cyan joined the party tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I hope and truly hope that everything is good with your family. Thoughts and prayers. Hope everybody well and everybody healthy. Let's take a weekend off. We're gonna get back into it on Monday night. All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna make some videos this Saturday. I'm gonna be working on some other things that I mentioned with Amazon affiliate program. Need to get back to the website and do some blogging. I got a lot of work to get done, and then we have some plans on Sunday with the super fan, Miss Felicia. So hopefully we will go and have a great day. So if you ever in Florida, it's a real thing. If you ever in Florida, Orlando, holler. Always would be glad to see you. Always a great time. My friends, this by far one of the longest live streams, 3.5 hours long. Almost lost my voice. This time goes by really fast all the time because it feels amazing. And as we wrapping up, Agatha came in, Indonesia. Thank you for being here. Happy weekend to you as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. But we're wrapping these things up. And yes, have a great weekend to everyone. Prototype family, be safe no matter what you do. Enjoy, have fun. It's been a great conversation. We're going to reconnect back on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Take a weekend off. Enjoy yourself. I'm going to be dropping some videos, hopefully. Hopefully, if not tomorrow, then schedule it out in the week. So the shorter form content. I have a few things jotted down on my pad that I want to talk about. Thank you, D. I appreciate you. Shane, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for the heart. So there'll be more things coming up. So just keep an eye on the channel. If you don't have your notifications set up, set them up. Keep an eye on the community tab. Probably be dropping some polls over there to find out some things from you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your interaction. Thank you for your comments, for your stories, for everything. I had a blast. I had a blast. Just in case you have not heard, we did some fun with some sound effects. And what should be the last one for the night? What should be the last sound? Gotta choose it wisely, right? Gotta do something meaningful here. So many of them. I know I gotta get better at it. It uses its thunder when I'm just like sitting here and just looking for it. So I gotta get better, but I gotta go back and forth. This is tough, yo. This is tough. I know you're waiting for this last sound. Fireworks, my friends. They was true fireworks. Thank you for being here. I'm getting fired up towards the end. I'll be seeing you Monday. Until then, don't forget to interact with me on Instagram. Don't forget to respond to community tabs. Don't forget to comment to these videos. Share your thoughts. Let's keep it going. Put the hashtag rant. Put the hashtag the prototypes. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Be happy. Be healthy. Be joyful. And most importantly, be grateful. I'll be catching you on Monday, not Sunday. And until then, my friends, peace, love, Prototypes family. Out.